If you're a fan of video games, ttrpgs, and charity, you might have seen some of the mega bundles on itch.io that have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years for worthy causes. If you stick around for this video, I'll teach you how to create your own charity bundle on itch.io, and you too can raise funds for a worthy cause of your choice. Hi friends, I'm Jess, and I've created 2 itch bundles that have exceeded their initial fundraising goals. Most recently, it was ttrpgs for accessible gaming for the ttrpg project, which raised over $36,000 to support them creating Braille RPG dice, and ttrpgs for Palestine, which raised almost $202,000 to support medical aid for Palestinians. Throughout this video, I'm going to reference itch.io's hosting a co-op bundle webpage. I've gone ahead and linked that on the video as well as the video description if you want to follow along. So here goes nothing. Here's tip number 1, my absolute biggest piece of advice, and that is to start early and start with the charity. With that being said, I would find a contact at the nonprofit and introduce them to your charity bundle idea. This is probably going to be a foreign concept to a majority of folks that you come across in the nonprofit sector, even if they work in the live stream fundraising department, because they're probably more used to direct fundraising on Twitch or on Tiltify or some other donation platform. My suggestion for you is to give them a quick explanation of what you'd like to do, link them to an example of a charity bundle that has been done in the past, and offer to hop on a quick call to give them a more in-depth explanation. I have spent my entire career in nonprofit fundraising, so I'll be the first to say that nonprofit professionals are typically overworked, underpaid, and in understaffed departments, so the person that you reach might not prioritize your request immediately. If you are having a tough time reaching a real live human person, I would suggest going to the charity's website and searching out their contact form or reaching out to the charity on social media. Don't be afraid to reach out in a variety of different ways on a variety of different days. Make sure you have a little bit of time in between each interaction. Don't make it feel like harassment, you know? Like I said, they are extremely overworked and underpaid. But Jess, why do I need to start with the charity? Shouldn't I worry about getting games for the bundle? Well, if you intend for the funds to go straight from the itch.io charity bundle to the charity, they need to be part of the bundle from the start. This is actually a new rule from itch.io that happened in 2024, stemming from a lack of communication where charities were in the onboarding process after the charity bundles had ended, leaving organizers a little bit weary on where exactly the funds went. Rascal News ended up covering this story, and I've linked it here in the description for transparency. Anyway, I know that personally for me, it took me a while to get started on itch.io because one of the biggest hangups I had was thinking about creating a charity bundle and having to deal with the taxes if I was financially responsible for that. There was literally no way that I was going to be able to pay the taxes on $100,000 raised on an itch charity bundle. So I asked around, and thankfully Rue Dickey, who was actually my inspiration for creating my first charity bundle, let me know that if you make the charity the sole beneficiary of the bundle, you're ensuring that all of the sales go directly to them, thus relieving you of the tax burden. Incredible. So technically, I covered a little bit of step 2 and 3 on the how to host a co-op bundle webpage, but again, I really do think that you should start with the charity first, get them squared away, get them on board before creating a game jam to collect entries or submissions to be included into the charity bundle. And this is my last piece on the charities before we move on. There are at least 12 different charities that are already onboarded, probably so many more, but they've already gone through the onboarding process, and I will list them right here. If you pick a charity that's already onboarded on Itch, you'll still need to get them into the bundle, yes, but you are taking the step away from actually getting them registered onto Itch, which is really nice. Medical Aid for Palestinians was already registered, and while DOTS registered immediately, Itch did take some back and forth to actually get them into the bundle and make them the beneficiary. So make sure you give yourself just a little bit of time. And with that being said, we're moving on to step number 2. You are not going to believe me, or maybe you will. Hopefully you will. Step number 2 is following the steps outlined in hosting a co-op bundle. Again, I've linked that for you in the video description. You want to follow all of the instructions at the top This tells you how to create the bundle, getting participant approval using a game jam to collect submissions, and more. You're going to want to make sure that you also scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page to where it says hosting a charity bundle, because there are things that are applicable here to you as well. And then if you follow all of these steps, you will be good to go. Okay, well, actually that brings me to tip number 3, be prepared for inconsistencies with Itch, unfortunately. As of this recording, I have hosted 2 charity bundles on Itch, and both have had different approval processes. Those who submitted their games to the ttrpgs for Palestine Game Jam still needed to approve their submissions to the charity bundle page before we could launch the bundle. However, those who submitted their games into the ttrpgs for Accessible Gaming Game Jam had their submissions automatically approved by itch.io in the bundle page. Honestly, I took this as a blessing with the second bundle because the entries that were not approved for the first bundle got kicked from the bundle before it could start. This process took 2 weeks with the first bundle, and I still had 10 entries that weren't approved and were removed from the bundle. Communication via Itch's support page for charity bundles sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. I have found making gentle reminders in the official Discord server and the meta channel can be extremely helpful. Honestly, I think it's not always the early bird that gets the worm. Sometimes gotta be the annoying bird to get the worm in this case. And with that being said, tip 4 is having a marketing plan. Your marketing plan should include social posts, a promotional graphic, and reaching out to gaming news sites at minimum. I think really it should be twofold. Your first prong should be towards collecting games in the game jam, and the second prong should really be focused on letting everyone know about the bundle. You can also work with the nonprofit that you're going to be supporting to get a donation equivalency for your fundraising goal. For example, the $20,000 fundraising goal for ttrpgs for Accessible Gaming helped Dot's RPG project fund their signature Braille RPG dice. Tip number 5 is creating a game jam to help collect game submissions. I've referenced this a few times now, and I really do think that it is so important. Could you technically forego creating a game jam and manually enter all the games yourself? Yeah, you absolutely could do that, but it sounds like a literal nightmare. Also, you're still going to need Itch's assistance to make the charity the sole beneficiary of the funds. Why not have Itch do all of the important hard work for you? When you create a game jam, I would also suggest including a facts and questions section. This is my most recent FAQ section that I included for ttrpgs for Accessible Gaming. It lets folks know that they can submit multiple projects, the rules, how long the game jam is going to be, and how long the charity bundle is going to last, how much it's going to cost for the bundle, the charity that you're supporting along with its mission, who to contact if they have questions, and how to spread the word. You can also reuse a lot of this when you make your bundle page as well. I think that 2 to 4 weeks is the sweet spot when you're thinking about the length of your game jam. It's not too long that folks are going to forget what you've said, but it also gives folks enough time to get involved if they want to create a brand new game specifically for your charity bundle. All right, my friends, that brings us to our last tip, tip number 6. That is communication. Be sure to communicate with the folks that are donating their game to the charity bundle. I would suggest using the email feature, which can be found when you click on the Edit Jam button, as well as the community tab in your game jam. Just make sure that everyone who submitted their games is informed of what's happening with the bundle. I'd suggest sending a email as well as a community update when the submission period has ended with next steps, the approval process when it's started. If there is one, remember, expect inconsistencies, when the bundle launches and how to boost it, when the bundle exceeds the fundraising goal, and after the bundle has concluded. So there you have it, folks. Those are my top tips on creating your first itch.io charity bundle. If you still have questions, you can book a consultation with me on my Coffee page. I do these for charity bundles as well as charity streams. And don't forget, if you like the intersection of charity and gaming, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more fundraising tips. You can also subscribe to my free charity newsletter, ttrpgs. But before you do all that, let me know in the comments what charity you're going to support when you make your first itch.io charity bundle.